beats of battle sing to the clashing of steel, till all the mountains lie broken and bleeding from wounds that no magic can heal. Go, my child, to Skyrim.
I don't think you were followed. Come on, I have a plan.
Delphine. No, I don't think I was followed either. I've been pretty much constantly on the move for the last few days, so... Well, if anyone did follow me, they'd have to be pretty dedicated. Delphine... Getting a little bit lax on security now, don't you think? Hold on a minute. Anamla?
What do you need?
Come on. Come inside. Now, why don't you get the door, too? We don't want any unexpected additions to our little meeting, do we?
Anything else?
Just keep an eye out there. Well, keep an eye on the door. Make sure nobody comes in behind us. All right, Delphine. Any luck coming up with a plan?
I figured out how we're going to get you into the Thalmor embassy.
So, how we're going to get me into the embassy. I take it you're not coming along?
That would be a bad idea. I'd be too likely to attract the wrong kind of attention. But they don't know you at all yet.
Yet. Well, what is the plan? How am I supposed to infiltrate the Thalmor embassy?
The Thalmor ambassador, Elenwen, regularly throws parties where the rich and connected cozy up to the Thalmor. I can get you into one of those parties. Once you're inside the embassy, you can get away and find Elenwen's secret files. I have a contact inside the embassy. He's not up for this kind of high-risk mission, but he can help you. His name is Malborn. Wood Elf. Plenty of reason to hate the Thalmor. You can trust him. I'll get word for him to meet you in Solitude at the Winking Skeever. You know it? While you're doing that, I'll work on getting you an invitation to Elenwen's little party. Meet me at the Solitude stables after you've arranged things with Malborn. Any questions?
I do have a few questions, Delphine. So, you say you have a way to get me into the party, but what exactly is that? I don't expect I can just waltz up to the door of the Thalmor embassy, announce that I'm the Dragonborn, and expect to be welcomed in with a smile.
Let me handle that. You'll have a real invitation, don't worry. As long as you can act the part of a Thalmor toady, you'll get past the guards.
You know, I have the feeling that's going to be the hard part. I suppose I'll have to brush off my acting skills. But that has never been my focus as a bard. Well, what about this contact of yours? Malborn, you said? You're sure that I can trust him?
Don't worry about Malborn. He's not a dangerous character like you. But he hates the Thalmor at least as much as I do. He's a wood elf. The Thalmor wiped out his family back in Valenwood during one of their purges that we never hear about. Luckily, they don't know who he really is, or he wouldn't be serving drinks at the ambassador's parties.
Well, if the Thalmor took out his family, then that's good enough for me, in terms of trusting him. Okay, what about once I'm inside the embassy? I don't suppose we have any blueprints, a layout of the place that I can use?
That's when the fun starts. You'll have to slip away from the party without raising the alarm. Then you'll need to find Elenwen's office and search her files. Malborn should be able to point you in the right direction.
It's not a lot to go on. I really hope this Malborn character is all that you think he is. But I guess I'll see you in Solitude after I meet with him.
Sounds good. Be careful.
You too, Delphine.
What? Something you're still confused about?
No, but there's something I think you should know. Yesterday, I met a woman, a Khajiit. who was sporting the armor and the sword of the Blades. But she's not a member of your order. I don't know if she's going to be a problem, but I think you might want to be aware of her just in case. Anyway, I'll see you up in Solitude. You look out for yourself, all right?
What? Something you're still confused about?
No, I'm just trying to get back upstairs, Delphine. All right. So, I'm assuming you probably heard all that. I don't know about this plan. What do you think?
Well, Delphine seems to think you'll do just fine. But are you sure we can't find someone, I don't know, with a little less dirt on their boots?
Huh.
I say that in jest, Dragonborn. I know you'll fit right in.
Really?
And it's not because of the way you're dressed, or because you've practiced speaking with a funny accent. You'll fit in because you've got a strong will and a strong character. You may not be nobility, but you have a presence that rivals any queen. And that's why they'll know you belong.
Are you sure that we're talking about the same person here? You know, me? Well, at least I actually wash behind my ears regularly. There's that.
Really? I admire you, Dragonborn. You never forget to take care of the little things. Me, I still have a long way to go. After all, real knights keep their armor polished and their scales clean. In any case, I'm sure someone like you will be the talk of the party. Just try not to stand out too much. You still have a job to do.
Right. I rather hope that I don't end up the talk of the party. I think that would defeat the purpose. Well, let's get going.
Lead, brave one, and I will follow.
I'm thinking we do need to check back in with Bodon, but we should probably swing by Falkreath first, since we were able to find that journal for the priest. That shouldn't take too long. In fact, I think I have an idea of a shortcut that we might take. I'm not totally certain it's the best idea in the world, but if I'm wrong, it won't take us too much out of our way. This journal, though.
Make some armor. Got it.
It seems a strange thing for somebody to be so concerned about a journal. I have to admit I have a little bit of curiosity about it. I really shouldn't. But I suppose it can't hurt too much, just to take a quick peek. 17-second seed. It has been a long time since I've written an entry in this journal. I admit with some embarrassment, then, that when I pulled it down from the shelf I nearly choked on the dust that flew. There's little to tell, but I did suffer another awful nightmare of the war. That's right, he did mention that he was in the Great War. I suppose this is an affliction common to many who must see the horrors of war firsthand. Writing about it has already helped me to feel better. 19-second seed. Received a letter from Anders in Whiterun. He has invited me to visit, and I intend to accept. It's been a long time since I was in the city. My only fear is the Thalmor. I have heard that they and their agents are abroad in Skyrim, rooting out worshippers of Talos. I must be sure to keep a low profile. 28-second seed. Return to my trip to Whiterun to find very few flowers have bloomed here. The rest of Skyrim is covered in blooms of fiery red and piercing blue, but only a scant few have appeared in or near the town. I'll make it my mission to change that. We could use some flowers to brighten this gloomy place. Perhaps I can get Tekla to help me. 9 mid-year. Spent most of the day consoling Laud, who received news of his cousin Grimsvoter's death. They were quite close as youths, and Laud drank and talked of his childhood memories. It was touching, but bittersweet. 22 mid-year. A wandering peddler passed through Falkreath today. I purchased a few sticks of incense from him. He was a nice young Nord, following in his father's footsteps. I think his name was Valbjorn. A few days later, one of the town guards spied a pack of carrion birds circling near the road. He found young Valbjorn's corpse, victim of a bandit attack. My heart is heavy, and yet I should know better. Life and death, growth and change, the turning of the seasons, these are all aspects of mighty Archay. I should not be so affected by the death of one young man, and yet... 12 sun's height. Travelers pass through town, speaking of the land in the grip of high summer. These are the warmest days of the year in Skyrim, but not in Falkreath. Here all is mist and fog and rain. It is always cool and damp, and the seasons have little meaning. Solef asked me about this the other day. He said that in a place of the dead, such as our great cemetery, Archay's dominion should be absolute. And yet Archay is also the Lord of Seasons, and this place seems untouched by them. I gave the best answer I could. I explained that Falkreath is indeed a place of great power for Archay, but he prefers to keep it this way, solemn and grey. Hopefully that was at least partly true, but who can possibly know the mind of a god? 20 sun's height. Dreams of the war again, but this time something different. I was leading a small band of Aldmeri battle mages. He fought for the Dominion. On a mission deep into the heart of Imperial territory. We had drawn near our target, a supply depot outside of Shadenhall, when the sky suddenly darkened. A great shadow passed over us, and there was a roar so terrible it chilled my blood. Something was flying just overhead, so huge and so dark as to blot out the sun. The dream changed then. I was here in Falkreath, performing a service for someone who had just passed away, though I do not recall who. From the corner of my eye I saw a stranger approaching. I turned to look, but the shadow came again, and the roar, and then I awoke. And now that I reflect on the dream, I cannot help but wonder, was it a dragon? It sure sounds like it. Why would I dream of such a creature when I have never seen one? It seemed so real at the time, but now the memory is fading. What it means I cannot say. Probably nothing. Well, I'm not sure what to make of all this. He fought on the war for the Aldmeri Dominion, and yet... he fears the Thalmor. He fears them because they're rooting out worshippers of Talos. Does that mean that he worships Talos in spite of fighting for the Dominion in the war? And his dream. He dreamed of the dragons, and along with that dream he dreamed of a stranger approaching. I can't help but think back to the dream that I had in Dawnstar. A dream of an Altmer priest. But it wasn't the same priest, it wasn't Runail. He looked completely different, besides being an Altmer.
For straps, fittings.
I'm thinking, Autumnlaw, that I might have to have a bit more of a talk with this priest than I originally intended. Now, don't get distracted. We need to be on our way. And as we ride, I have some thinking to do. Alright, we're back to the Guardian Stones. And this, I think, is where we can take our shortcut. I don't think the river is too deep here, so we might be able to wade around those rocks down there and meet back at the road while cutting out this little loop through here. It's worth a shot anyway. Ah, good day, friend. Don't mind me, just passing through. Alright, yeah, it's still pretty shallow here. Good. Then it's not too much farther before we get back to the town. We'll just avoid these Imperial soldiers. And hopefully, well, most likely we won't run into any more trouble since we just passed through here earlier today. Here we are again. It's a good thing Riverwood and Falkreath are so near to each other. Well, let's leave the horses up here this time, instead of down in the middle of the cemetery. Actually, Autumnlaw, I've made up my mind. I am going to talk to the priest. But I would prefer to do so privately. There may be trouble, but I'm hoping that I interpreted what I read in his journal correctly. So just wait here for now, and I'll try not to be too long. Not that you mind the rain, do you?
Not a problem, brave adventurer. If there is one thing I do well, it's standing guard.
I don't think there's actually all that much to stand guard against out here. But I guess keep an eye out for wolves. Alright. I'll try not to be too long. But I probably will be. Let's be honest here. Alright. Here goes nothing. Ah. Brother Runail.
Ghost is responsible for the cemetery here in Falkreath. I take care of the shrine.
Right. Hello, Koost. Runail. I found your journal. It was indeed where you thought you left it. Unfortunately, that cave had been taken over by bandits, but... well... I'm afraid I had to send a few more souls to Arcay.
Thank you. It's a collection of regrets that I try not to forget. Here, I promised you this.
Oh, my. Well, that really wasn't necessary. But, I'm afraid that I have a bit of a confession to make. Once Koost has stepped outside, Runail ushers me over to the Shrine of Arcay and asks, "Are you certain you wouldn't prefer a priest of Stendarr? If it were mercy I wanted, perhaps I would, though even Stendarr seems short of mercy these days." "Absolutely," I tell him. "It's your counsel I need. I briefly studied under a priest of Archaea as a girl, but my situation isn't something we covered in the basics. Then how can I help you, my child? First, my confession. I settle my hands firmly in my lap. I'm afraid the offense I committed was against you, Brother Runiel. He tenses just enough for me to notice, but his voice remains calm. I'm not aware of any way you've wronged me. That's why I need to tell you. It's about your journal. When I recovered it, I let my curiosity get the better of me. It was wrong of me to look inside, but I still did. And now, I know your secret. Both of them. I wait, as still as I can, to see how he will react. If he sees me as a threat, I alone stand little chance against a former Aldmeri battle mage. But he only gives me a look as grim as Falkreath cemetery. And what do you intend to do with your knowledge? It isn't my right to forgive or avenge whatever actions he took in the war, whatever lives he took, even if, for all I know, one of those lives could have been my own father. I can't judge the weight of his past against the weight of his service as a priest. All I can do is look at the man he seems to be now. I intend to trust you, I say, and to keep my silence about things that I shouldn't know. You see, the priest of Archaea back in my home village is the closest thing I've ever had to a father. He taught me many things in addition to my religious upbringing. But he wasn't always a priest of Archaea. Before the war, before the White Gold concorded, he had dedicated himself to the service of another, Talos. Ah. Brother Runiel seems to relax a little, but only a little. Once again, I spin out the tale of Brother Roland and my mother, what has happened to them, and what may have happened to them. I don't quite go so far as to admit to my own belief in Talos, but the implication is plain enough. Runiel listens to all of it, and finally I get to my point. Brother Runiel, you're in a unique position to advise me. I don't know if my mother survived her wounds, or if she and Brother Roland were able to escape undiscovered. If they didn't make it out, then they have no one but me to give the proper rites and make the proper offerings to the divines. I still can't look him in the eye as I speak. If I assume falsely that they live, then I neglect my duty as a daughter and as a follower of Archaea. But if they do live, and I perform the rites anyway, then it's as if I've given up on them, as if I'm asking the divines to take them. Either way feels like tempting fate. So what do you say I should do? The gods don't take offense at an offering sincerely given, but my advice is to give it time. I know there's little comfort in waiting, but it's better not to rush until you have a chance to learn the truth. Find out what you can, without putting your own safety at risk. If you still have no word a year from now, then make your offerings, for your own peace of mind as much as for the sake of the divines. He's right. It isn't very comforting advice. But it is something, and I'm grateful for it. I give my promise again to keep his secrets, and I ask for his blessing. Then he leaves me to pray in silence, while he lets his assistant back in from the rain. I suppose I shouldn't leave Onumla waiting for me outside any longer. Well, thank you, Brother Runiel, for the talk and for the advice. I'm going to be on my way now, but the next time I'm in Falkreath, I'll make sure to stop by and say hello, and see how you're doing here. Kust? Well, let's go find Onumla and get back on the road again. We should have enough daylight left to make some progress, though I expect we're going to have to camp on the road. You ready to go? Sorry for leaving you out here for so long.
Lead, brave one, and I will follow.
All right, let's get going. And I'd better put my helmet on before I get too much more water in my hair. You know, they really ought to make a path leading from this road to the town. I suppose they don't want a third gate to guard, but it's better than just having this empty field that anybody could walk through. Of course, perhaps it's better this way for me. Falkreath is on the Empire's side. If we have to take it, at least I already know that they don't have very good defenses. Though I hate to think that way. This does not look good. Maik, are you okay?
All right, hand over your valuables, or I will gut you like a fish.
You know, it's not a very good idea to try and rob multiple parties at once. You need to walk away right now.
Nice try, but you do not scare me. I am not going to ask again.
I don't have time for this.
Never should have come here.
Hey.
Die,
Where did... Ah. There you are. Are you alright?
Don't try blocking if you have two weapons. You will only get confused. Much better to hit twice anyway.
Thanks for the advice. Alright. Not bad boots. I think I took something that I didn't want. Oh well. Alright. Where did Bera go? There she is. Take care on the road, Maik. He's a strange fellow, and we keep seeming to run into him. Anyway, speaking of people getting themselves into trouble, I think we might want to check out that cave with the Spriggans. Or that supposedly has Spriggans. See if those missing hunters from Falkreath got into trouble there. And we should be pretty close to it, I think. Yeah, it's just up the road a little ways. It's the second path to the left. Hopefully it's nothing and the hunters just got delayed. Maybe they were able to bag a big prize and that has taken up their time. But I kind of have a feeling they got themselves into trouble. Is that somebody up there?
Not sure how much longer I can hold out. Hello? You! Over here, please. I need help.
It's what I was afraid of.
I'm not sure I'll make it on my own. Thank Kinnereth for you, stranger. I'd almost given up hope of walking away from here.
Are you one of the hunters I heard about?
Name's Valder. I hunt out of Falkreath.
Right.
We tracked a bear to this den. Good coin for those pelts. We had the big sow cornered when they showed up. 3 of them, out of nowhere.
3 bears?
Spriggans. Niels went down before we even knew to run. Ari died just inside. I never even thought the things were real. I may have lost a drop or 2 of blood. Truth is, I'm not going anywhere like this. Hurts to breathe.
Right, of course. Listen. I have a potion to spare.
I just need a little to get going.
Here. Take one of these. That should get you going again.
Much better. Thanks, friend. I wouldn't have lasted much longer without that. But now what? I can't just walk away, not with my friends' bodies in there being torn apart by those beasts.
I understand. But listen, you should sit here and rest. You don't want to go running back into trouble again. Let me see what I can do.
You'd really risk your life for a stranger's honor? I don't even know what to say. Thank you, my friend. I'll wait here.
All right. Anamwa, it's no time for us to rest. Though, I should probably get a quick bite to eat first. What do I have that's ready? I'll just snack a bit on a carrot. That should do for now. And a sip of water to go with it. I'll get a little bit more for dinner when we come back out. Did you hear that? Be careful out here, alright? Let's go in. Oh, it's dark in here. But there's some light up ahead anyway. Okay, I think there's a Spriggan. And that looks like a dead bear? And one of the hunters. Alright. Let's see if I can hit this. Good. One more. Alright. This must be Ari from what he said. That means that Niels is further in. Probably want to keep to the high ground. Wait, is that? Yeah, another bear. And the other hunter. Come on. Hey! Ah! I think I'm going to leave the bears for Valdir. He can take the time, if he wishes, to take those pelts. It won't make up for the loss of his friend, but at least it's something. Okay. Any more Spriggans about? Or more bears? This really is quite a pretty place. We'll check around this way first. What? Ah! Okay. That one went down pretty easy. Is that it then? I don't know. I think we should check around a little bit more. Oh, yep, one more. Oh. Ah! Well, that wasn't too bad for the three of us, but I can definitely see why the hunters had trouble with them. Ouch. Okay. Is there? Yeah, there's something up here. Interesting. An amulet of Kinnereth. Must have been left here by... Well, there are a lot of people who consider these places sacred. Like where the Elder Gleam is. Have you ever been there, by the way? It's a beautiful place. I suppose some pilgrim must have left those there. But right now, we need to take care of Valdir's friends. Let's do what we can, bring them both back up to the entrance. This might take a little while. There's that work done. May you both rest and feast in Shore's Hall. And we'd better let Valdir know that his friends have both been retrieved.
It's done then. Justice, if you can call it that. Look, I want you to have this. I know it isn't much, but it's important to me. Ari gave me this dagger when we first started hunting together. I always said it brought her luck. You should be the one to carry it now.
Thank you.
I'll give them a proper burial, then head back. Come find me if you're ever in Falkreath. You'll always be welcome at my door.
I will, Valdir. I'm sorry about your friends. Alright, well, it's late now. We'd better find a place to camp. I thought I saw a better place up close to the road. And it's raining again. Come on, Bera. You'd better follow us up. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not sure this place is flat enough. Maybe. No, this'll do. I'm gonna go ahead and build the fire inside. Well, there's that sound again. There's a dragon out there somewhere. But it sounded pretty far away. Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn in for the night. Tomorrow, we'll make our way north, back to the marshes, and report what we found out to Bodon. I wish we had better news to tell him, though.